Hello, people. How we doing? How is things? Hello, F7. Thanks for being early. Ish, it's okay. They're F7's worms. You don't have to eat them. But yeah, how's it? How is everybody doing? Um, I'll just check that we're actually like coming through on YouTube and all that because I've had it break before. This bridge has been burned. Stream health orange. Okay, check resolution. Thanks. Thanks YouTube for that helpful message. Hello Ish, how you doing? Hello Harry. How are you? Um yeah, I think we're good. That's alright. Sweet. How has everybody's week been? I appreciate I'm 1 minute early for once. So I understand if, it's not the hip hop place that it normally is. Very good. Good. That's always good to hear. Nice one. Been up to anything besides buying AMD Epic servers? Good, thanks, and you? Uh, awesome. Yeah, not too bad. I suppose been better, but not too horrendous. I suppose maybe. I can't remember. Hello, Chris. How are you doing? How has your week been with your random inbox microphone? Or in and out of box microphone? Since it is currently still just the regulars who are watching them, I want to give you a quick update. Over the next, I'll tell you, next, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 weeks. There's going to be at least one sponsor video or a video with a pre-roll ad in it. Sorry, something in my mouth. But anyway, so there's going to be a few extra sponsor videos than there normally is. I normally tend to keep kind of like one a month or something. I've had a little bit of a almost dry spell, but because it's tech, I think basically people seem to only have budget when it's Computex and Christmas, and so there's going to be a couple of videos kind of going out. They're still videos that I would either normally make or especially with the one that comes out tomorrow, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's the one that we filmed last week with Steve from Noble Chairs. It's at least funny to make up for it being sponsored, so hopefully you will enjoy that. But yeah, gotta pay the bill somehow. And it's alright because you'll have some now and then none for like 6 months. So work out. Do as many as you want, mate. Embrace the Linus. Indeed. I clearly need to turn this into a 30+ person organization. Clearly that's where I want to head with this. Hello, Wapted. How you doing? And hello, Kev. How are you? Also, F7, you have 10 Epic servers. That is impressive. Nice one. How are they doing? Hire me. I got a new mic today. Nice. It's not quite how it works. So no. Good, thanks, mate. Nice. To be fair, Jared probably worked for buttons and a swatch at a few. Yeah, he's probably not wrong. Laptop, not bad. Awesome. They will be epic. Nice. Do you have them? Are they like coming? Are they what's the deal? Unrelated points. Nice. Oh, and the in-video ads. If you are a patron at, it's bad. I don't remember what Patreon tiers I have. The ad-free or above tiers. I'm gonna be actually making use of like giving you some rewards for Patreon. Finally, I know, right? Sorry. But those videos that would normally have the pre-roll ads with ASRock, actually, nice motherboard. That will you will get a unlisted copy of that video. So with no ad in it. So, you know, I think I'll probably also, with the unlisted ones, like all monetization will be turned off, so there'll be no ads at all. It will just be the pure content experience. So yeah. Hello Starman, how you doing? How's your PlayStation and PSVR treating you? I have to get some snapshots as I need them. I need to open them up and install RTX Quadros and a fiber capture card. Fair play. I don't mind ads if it's supporting. Yeah, I mean for the unlisted Patreon versions, it's but the point is the ad free tier on Patreon should give, like, I'm aiming so that it gives you at very least the videos that would normally I put ads in them completely ad free. So yeah. We'll redistribute the video link for £1 on eBay. Nice. Oh, you gotta make profit somehow. Nice one. Laughing at Ish and Wapted there with the our fibers elusive / hard to capture. Yes, that's why you have dedicated capture dedicated cards to capture fibers. Nice. Also, on Twitch, if you've noticed, there is now a Stream Elements bot. That's because one of the sponsored videos is actually Stream Elements and OBS Live. I'm actually still using Streamlabs OBS to stream this because it's still set up. But OBS Live is a thing that I will have a video on as well. It's quite interesting. It's just an add-on for standard OBS. So if you like streaming, you could check that out if you use standard OBS. MRI showed herniated disc. Oh, that's not the best result. What's the like prognosis for fixing that? Hello, Luca. How you doing? I have an exam tomorrow. Oof. What on? Wanted. I realized that the chat is hiding the overly expensive purchase I made this week. Let me turn it on. This is the overly expensive purchase I made. Not the camera, the gimbal. Very nice. You know, nice and weirdly smooth. This is more expensive than I want to admit, but it lets me do quite a lot of stuff. I'm still learning how to use it properly, but trying not to make too much noise. It lets me do motorized pans, which is quite nice. I need to work on trying to control the speed because it's a bit fast. Can also tilt, which is quite nice. And the other thing is, it comes with this little tripod, which means you can set it down quite easily. But the one that I bought lets you put the like screw it on as a handle back here as well. And this is important because when you yes, I do have a slider and I do use it every now and again, but it's a bit of a pain. So when you double tap that, it goes into what they call vortex mode, which is just a really stupid way of saying like it lets you spin like that. And I know that kind of sounds stupid, and it kind of is, but it's also really very cool. The display gets in the way a little bit, but ironically, when you move the display, it unbalances the damn thing. But what nice thing is, I don't know if you can see, there's a cable out here. It lets you control it, like control everything on the camera. So yeah, it's quite nice. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. I need to get better at using it because it's a new kind of, tool. But yeah, I am very pleased. You just need an external monitor and some red cameras. Weapon 8K in the basket. Yes, that will definitely happen. Subscribe to Patreon. There we go. Yeah, no. 20 employees, a server room, and a warehouse office. Yeah, right. One day. Official Dobbs, what's a good PC build for 2200? I can't even meme that hard. Like i4000, and like RTX 16 million. Does anyone else have a better answer for that? Oculus Quest coming out next week. Good job I pre-ordered early as it sold out. Nice. Let me know what that's like when you get it. I'd be very interested to know. Everyone do a top tier patron so Andy does a Jar Jar review. One day you'll get that. I do have to say my local Apple store has the best customer service. Went in today for a repair on my Beat Studio wireless that are out of warranty, and the guy wants to honour £150 worth of repairs. That's quite nice. I would say that that's a rare story that I've heard, but fair play, nice one. No, I'm being serious. Well, that's quite a. Oh wait, you mean like, right? Currency, not year. I read that as a year. So yeah, if you can let as Ish has let us know the currency, and then we can kind of describe a good idea. So Ryzen 3000 looking very interesting. Also found engineering sample of an Epic 32 core 64 thread CPUs on eBay for £400 all. Nice. That's not overly expensive, actually, considering the Threadrippers, like how much the 2990 WX is. US dollars, right. So $2,200. Oh God, I really can't. Chris, you're good at this. You're probably looking at i7, i9, or Ryzen 7, like 2700X. GPU, you're probably looking at a 2080, maybe stretch to 2080 Ti, depending on if that money is also gonna cover a monitor or peripherals, or if it's just for the system. But yeah, you're probably looking at a good. What do I have here? I have a system already set. Yeah, so probably a 2080 or 2080 Ti. I would suggest a good size SSD. I would probably suggest a good size hard drive as well. So like 2 to 4 terabyte hard drive and 500 gig to 1 terabyte SSD. Case, no, just system with SSD. Yeah. Case wise is whatever you fancy. You can spend more or less, depending on if you want nicer or, well, functional. On the nicer side, sorry, there's stuff like the Fantex N2 Evolve X, which I just absolutely am in love with, or the standard Evolve as well, which are probably about $150 to $200, give or take. So certainly more expensive than a more budget, like, Corsair, Spec 04 or whatever, but it depends what you're after. And then a good 750 watt power supply should be fine, and then probably 16 or maybe 30 gigs around, depending on what you're after. And then a good CPU cooler. Even something like a Arctic Freezer 34 Esports Duo is a very nice one. Comes with two fans in the box, the Duo version. And is only about $30 to $40, so not overly expensive as well. Couldn't get a Ti included in that price, surely. It depends what you want to sacrifice. If you go with, a Ryzen 5, then you could probably get that. And it is 2200, and it also depends if you want to pay for Windows as well. But yeah, I don't know. Will there be a TechteamGB roast? No. It's not really my sense of humor, so yeah. 3000X is what I have my eye on. It sounds like a very good shout, actually. The one thing is actually the in-video ads that I mentioned earlier that I'm going to be doing for ASRock is with a B450 board. And it's actually a pretty relatively beefy board. The actual board itself should be able to handle even the higher core Ryzens, but they wouldn't confirm to me that the board will actually officially support the new Ryzen chips and that kind of thing. Official Dobbs, okay. I'll look into it. I just can't decide if I want a full custom water loop or just get an AIO again. I've had my AIO for 3 years and no issues so far. Yeah, fair play. I'm running one myself, and they're generally speaking all right. Obviously, a custom water loop is generally much more risky, and also doesn't have the same sort of warranty that a closed loop one does. With that said, it's still obviously with a custom loop you can cool the GPU as well, which can be quite nice for keeping it nice and quiet. But yeah, kind of up to you really. ASRock, Mr. Fest by any chance? No. Talking directly with HQ. Hello, also hello, Master ET. How you doing? How's things? There are other fudge ones fit in the socket of the other, but they're supposed to be locked out. Fair play. Custom loop all the time. Indeed. I mean, I'd like to do more water cooling. Not necessarily because it's as necessary as it used to be. It's sort of like coolers that came on like graphics cards and CPU coolers in general were pretty naff 10 years ago, and so it was quite necessary. But nowadays it's really just a kind of eccentric type thing, which is really a weird thing to say, but also quite interesting, I suppose. But yeah, I would like to do some more. Threadripper is expected to be 2020 anyway. It makes sense, certainly, or at very least late 2019, but probably early 2020. God, it's almost 2020. Jesus. Well, sort of. I have 4 water-cooled PCs. Enjoyed building every one. Nice. Are they all still in use, or are they kind of been torn apart over the years? By the time that comes out, Threadripper will not meet some. That's an interesting look at it. My car's water cooled. I think most are. In fact. Yes, all in use. Nice. That's cool, man. Official Dobbs, the PC part picker link that Juragamer posted, I assume, is possibly a good shout. My mower's water cooled. Why? 2 in my office and 2 in my garage. Garage is in like stored, or garage is in like Bitcoin mining. Buy a cheap car and then connect up a PC to the water cooling system, then drive around. So there are a few problems with that. The main one is that a car's thermostat opens at something like 80 degrees Celsius, which means that the PC would be constantly running at 80 degrees Celsius. It's also not necessarily a great idea, because the way that car electronics work is that the ground for the circuit for anything connected to the car is always through the body or through the engine block back to the battery. It's never directly connected, which means that you could have quite a lot of let's say interference or utter annihilation of your components. I wonder if you could like hook it into the car's AC system or something though. Anyway, it kind of looks like the link's gone through, although I don't know if it went through in chat. Think of the damage look I could do. Is it true that Microsoft are skipping to Windows 12 this year, which would be VR orientated? As far as I'm aware, the issue statement there is correct in that Windows 10 was the last Windows operating system. I maybe wouldn't be surprised if they launched a VR version or a VR oriented version of Windows, right? Like they did for ARM, like they did for like phones, for example. Not that that worked out very well, but like they did for that. That is more oriented for VR and maybe has more tools and stuff like that that would work directly. But I'm not entirely sure. It seems like a bit of a long shot. For them, that's quite a lot of R&D errors for something that still currently is fine for gaming. Like I still play the Vive a decent amount, but yeah. I imagine the last one would be a subscription model though, just the numbering. I agree. I am actually somewhat surprised that they haven't got a straight up subscription model for everybody, but at the same time, I think they're almost trying to wean people off of purchasing an operating system, so it might take a while. I saw HoloLens or Microsoft in Reading, the team were keen on making it like a PC functionality wise. Nice. I've been to their offices, I think. And yeah, HoloLens needs to be full FOV. I would agree. When I tried HoloLens at Microsoft, it was a very painfully obvious, very small window in front of you. I think that HoloLens 2 is a bit better, but it's still not even like VR levels of field of view. So yeah. Maybe a funny name instead of Windows, maybe just something like MSOS, here to spy on you for the rest of your life. Continuous updates included. Nice. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but there you go. Oh, I finally finished the smart mirror. It's gonna go there, wherever that is. I need to bring it down and plug it up, but it's finished. I'm happy with it. It's a little bit dim, which is annoying because the monitor that I was using to test all of the stuff and set up all the stuff is actually a lot brighter than the one that I actually put in it, and the other one doesn't fit, so I'm stuck with it. But it turned out alright. I did actually mess up in measuring for the acrylic panel, and so it actually didn't come as the right size, and I had to cut it, and I scratched a bit, and there's a few dents and stuff in it, so I might order a new panel, but it's not hideously expensive, especially if you already have a monitor. I think it was sort of like £40 for the acrylic, maybe 10, 20 for the wood, and then about £5 for the USB adapter and the IC kind of kettle lead connector. And then if you have to buy a Raspberry Pi and an SD card, that's another £40 or so. But yeah, it's quite a good project if you don't want to if you want to learn a bit more about sort of like installing stuff on Linux and using command line and that sort of stuff. So quite fun. Still undecided, is phone contract change plus Netmobile are upping the cost? Fair play. That's I have giffgaff, which is £10 a month for 3 gig of data, unlimited everything else. Interesting on that though. Fair. I'm gonna make Bitwit's portable entertainment system to spook at Ryanair. Nice, nice. Can't talk about that. Facebook is getting report DDoS by some Indonesian botnet. Nice. Quality. Anyone ever got their camera serviced by Canon? I haven't. I do have a Canon camera, but I've never had it serviced at all, actually, let alone by Canon. Sounds expensive. Yeah, probably. It's probably about as expensive as the camera itself. £50. Is that just like cleaning stuff out? I don't like. I could maybe understand that if you're like if you go out and about a lot with it and it gets dirty and stuff. But mine has only ever seen the inside of a backpack and the inside of either these four walls or similar four walls. So, are you going to CES? Not that I know. If I was gonna go long haul trip to anywhere, it'd be Computex. I wanted to go this year, but didn't wasn't able to arrange sponsors to afford it because it's hideously expensive. So I'm hoping to go next year for that. Yeah, and I'm going to Insomnia or EGX, possibly. I'll have to see how Nathan is doing. Nathan, the moderator in the chat, or who occasionally is a moderator in the chat, has had cancer for quite a while, and is it spread a bit, and he's not doing too good. So really trying to make sure he's all right before we go anywhere like that. I want to go to Taiwan in Vienna, boarding my plane to Gatwick. I saw an unguarded gate to Taiwan, so tempted. Nice. Hope he gets off soon. That's not gonna happen, I'm afraid. Yeah. How much is Computex for you then? Somewhere between £1,000 and £2,000, I think. We do videos on the new AMD stuff and other new PC gear. I certainly hope that AMD send me some over when possible. Whenever they're actually available. My guess, and I'm not under NDA or anything, but my guess is that they'll announce stuff at Computex and then send stuff out to reviewers a little after that. So yes, I would expect so, but well, we shall see. And Taiwan is actually really nice. It's incredibly humid and incredibly warm. But but it's very nice, very efficient and clean public transport, which is lovely. Very easy to get around the city. You just buy like a traveler ticket kind of thing, and it works, which is great. And then you can explore quite a lot with just public transport. You can even get to the National Museum. I think me and Paul from Paul's Hardware and his wife and manager ended up taking a taxi for the last bit of it, but that was only because it was torrentially raining. But I think you can walk from the monorail bit to the museum, I think. Sorry, I meant the show in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's Computex. I said I'd love to. It's certainly expensive, and so I need to arrange sponsors to do it. And at this point in time, it's not cost effective for sponsors to arrange that. So, yeah. I'll sponsor you 1%. Nice. Pound quality. That's 0.1% to 0.05%. Do a GoFundMe. I possibly. I feel like that's probably what Patreon should be for, really. But let's hope you can get there next year, Andrew. It'd be great. Yeah, I went a couple of years ago, which was awesome. So yeah, if I can get back again, that'd be great. Hello, Blur. How you doing? How's things? It's not worth it though, just for Computex, unless someone's fully covering. Yes, that's the problem. Money could be invested elsewhere better though. Yes, that's again the problem. I would need to be. I would need to have sponsors that are explicitly only interested in sponsoring me to go to Computex, and not say sponsoring a video about the product that they're launching at Computex, and then that's money that I've earned rather than have to immediately go spend. Thank you, Luca. Is that the most recent one by any chance? There was the MSI one, and then there was the one at the rest of the tech, and I think I also did a vlog as well. I can't remember. That's the vlog. There you go. So when can we see your Ryzen samples, Andy? When I get them, or probably a bit after when I get them, but I have to get them first. Do you see any? Because I don't. MSI one. Yes, that's the one. Blur. Yeah, not too bad. Getting by. Yeah. There's a brown box. Yes, that's got a Core 2 quad in it. I think. Maybe. Yeah. No. It is a quad core. I can't remember. I don't remember. Big box for 77. I know, right? The reason that it's in the box is because it was for the budget series, the budget PC, and it's I bought the quad, whatever quad core old 775 Intel that fits in that Dell Optiplex 380. I bought one, and then I think I returned it because it wasn't working right, and then I bought another one hoping that would be fine, but then they sent me two, and I tried to return that one, but they didn't they didn't give me a postage label or anything, so I just have a spare Core 2 quad or whatever it is. So yeah, I haven't even opened the box because I know it's in it. Champs 007 is RTX. Well, you did say RTX, but a 2060 and a 2700X. Okay for streaming 1080p 60f. Planning to upgrade to 2080 soon. Yes, it is. I would recommend trying out NVENC first. But either way, yes, it'll be fine. My chair came in the biggest box. I know they're massive. I've had like 10 of them, trust me, I know. I've given away a lot of chairs to friends. Do you want to play PUBG after the stream? I'm bored of revising for my GCSEs. Lol, probably not tonight. I'll have to see how Nathan's doing. Oh, and Lapsid, what exam do you have? Lucas says I think you should revise. Oh, speaking of PUBG, there you go. That was MSI gave me 2 of these. Operating system exam. Sounds fun. It's only French tomorrow. Low level shiz that happens. Nice. I'd be very interested to know a lot more about that. That's like one of the, let's face it, many areas that I don't know all that much about. But yeah, I didn't go to university, so yeah. I do find it funny that I learned more in a like 3-week period where I was just interested in learning about like how CPUs work, for example, and to make a video on it than I did in my entire like 2 years of college. And like they covered some of it, but oof. Computer science exams are silly. How come? I mean, for me, the biggest problem with like A-level computing was that it was covering stuff that felt so outdated. And for example, the programming language that they taught you in wasn't Python, wasn't Java, wasn't C or C Sharp or C++. It was Delphi. Yeah. Which means that while it does teach you the same sort of paradigms as most programming languages, it's a lot of the syntax and stuff like that was, let's say, missing, and so I've learned a lot. And also the biggest problem is that they didn't teach you anything about like data structures or how to actually write an application or like in any form other than like really basic stuff. And I appreciate that it's only like a 2-year course or whatever, but like seriously, come on. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Ryzen 3000 series? So from what I've seen of it, I'm not under NDA. I don't have any information that you don't have, but it looks very interesting. From the demo that they did at CES at the start of the year, obviously with their 8-core running at probably about 5 gigahertz, beating a 9900K in Cinebench, that's obviously a good sign. With that said, it will be interesting to see what the final clock speeds are and what the final obviously core counts and stuff are. But yeah, it should be very interesting. It was an 8-core running at 4 gigahertz. Okay, what's the source for 4 gigahertz there? But either way, it's impressive. And I hope that the final result, if you like, is that or better. And obviously with the option of potentially going up to 12 or 16 cores, that is a very interesting proposition. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I do wonder if they're going to split the launch so that it's, say, the standard chips, you know, the 8 cores, the 6 cores, the quad cores or whatever. It'll be interesting to see if they split those chips as the initial launch, you know, relatively soon, and then they go with a sort of split launch where you've got the 12, 16 cores later on, or whether they're just kind of launch them all together, and then we'll just have a bit of a fit as to see what's best and what sort of Vive money you got. It was some calculations some folk did based on IPC and the results versus 900K. Okay, right, fair play. Hello, Sam. How you doing? How's things? Watch Intel cry. Yes, it'll be interesting to see. If nothing else, their stock price. But yeah, I'm excited for the new Ryzen chips. It'll be very interesting to see how they come out. It's scary that there weren't computers when I was at school. That is a little bit scary. But it's okay because you got them now. I do genuinely remember a teacher saying, like telling me off in class for using a calculator, saying you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket every day for the rest of your life. Oh, how wrong she was. The stock oofed with vulnerabilities. It has. It's actually still dropping, which is impressive. Me and Chris had a commuting paper today. An OCR exam board gave themselves a theme park. Nice. Rising competition in this market is healthy, as it goes to show how much we rely on one company to keep our data safe, and that anyone could sell you something with vulnerabilities in the back door. Very true. Hello, super user. How you doing? How has your week been? Did Java and Python at school? Nice. Intel stock gone down 33%. Yeah, that's a big oof. That's ouch. Been in a magazine this week. Nice. What over? PS5 will be using a variation of AMD's third generation 8 cores with Zen 2 7nm architecture, with the current prediction being 16 threads at 3.2 gigahertz. That's impressive to see, actually. Yeah. Blur is a Intel Core i7 good. Yes, it does depend on which one. The K ones are the unlocked ones, which means you can overclock them. They also generally are a little bit faster even out of the box than the standard non-K ones. So for example, a 9700K is going to be a little bit faster than the 9700 and is going to give you the option to overclock if you pair it with a Z series motherboard, so a Z390 motherboard, and that will all work well. So yes, they are pretty good. 8700. So again, that's also good. The 8700 non-K will be slightly slower than the 8700K, but it's certainly a decent chip. I think what you're looking at 6 cores and something like 4 to 4.5 gigahertz on boost or something like that. So yeah, it's certainly a good chip. Commercial Truck Magazine. They gave me £2,500 worth of tools. Nice. That's always handy. Champs, have you heard of the company CCL Computers in the UK, and what are your opinions of them? I have heard of them. I think I might have bought from them once. I don't have much experience with them in terms of sampling, and really since I've been running the channel, so I can't really give you too much, but my understanding is that they're a pretty decent company. I bought a shim from CCL. Nice. Luca bought from CCL. They're good enough. Fair play. Luca was saying that the PS4 is terrible in comparison to the leaked specs of the PS5. I think they'll be doing 8K content easy. If a PS4 Pro can do 4K-ish on Jaguar FX architecture, then I assume Ryzen and Vega would be very good. I would agree. I think 8K content in terms of playback should be fine, because 8K content playback really isn't the hardest thing in the world. While your APU or whatever, your 10-year-old laptop probably won't do it. Most graphics cards today, I would say, have plenty of horsepower to be able to display 8K stuff. The real problem will be when you try and play games on it, which obviously won't happen. But yeah. Is the Corsair H100 AIO enough to overclock a Ryzen 7 2700X to 4 GHz? So I use the H100i V2 myself. It's literally right there in my desk because I've got a desk PC and it's really cool and I like it and you should check out the video on it. But I have a Ryzen 2700 non-X overclocked to 4 GHz and it's fine. What's the temperature? I shall tell you now. It's fine. Hardware monitor takes a while to boot up, sorry. When it boots up. 54 degrees Celsius on the CPU. And that's with X.264 streaming at about 15 to 17-ish% CPU usage. So yeah. Make sure you use Chrome for 8K content. Firefox lags so much with it. Firefox lags with anything, mate. It's funny because I used to use Firefox like constantly for all video, like video watching, and then it just like dived off a cliff. And then I've been using Opera for video because it's basically just Chrome, but slightly different. So yeah. PS5 will use ray tracing too. That's certainly interesting. I'll be interested to see what the implementation of ray tracing is and how many games will support it and how much of a sort of headline feature it would be. I actually use Firefox, to be honest. Nice one, Super User. Have you seen the new Windows terminal? It's had a new revamp. It coming out with a lot more features. I think it's in beta right now. I have. It was actually the weirdest thing that I've been excited for. Like the weirdest techie thing that I've been excited for. You know, so I use the Linux subsystem sometimes. Not expressly. I just set up a Ubuntu VM on my ESXi box, like my virtual machine box that I have next door, so that I could not use the subsystem, because the subsystem, a lot of stuff that should work doesn't. And I was trying to write a Twitter bot the other day, and it wouldn't let me run like curl commands and stuff. It was throwing errors that a Ubuntu VM didn't. So I don't use it all that much. I also don't use terminal all that much on Windows. Obviously, I use terminal on Linux because you have to. There's no way around it. But I don't open CMD that much unless I want to check my IP address, basically. So yeah. Hello, Riley. How you doing? I'm glad that you're still alive. That's a good sign. And Windows is finally getting a virtualized kernel, or Windows subsystem for Linux. But yeah, that's nice. Are you tempted to buy the OnePlus 7 Pro, Andrew? Honestly, no. Glad you're doing good, Riley. I allowed it, by the way. But yeah, OnePlus 7 Pro. So it's cool, right? I'm definitely interested in the look of it, kind of thing. You know, the spec wise, it looks interesting. The cameras look pretty decent. The pop-up camera is actually one of the better implementations that I've seen, and what you call it? Sorry. But the lack of a headphone jack disappoints me, because I genuinely still use mine. Even though I do have quite a few sets of wireless headphones, the ability to just plug in any headset I have here at all and use it is great. It would also mean that a few of my headphones would cease to be useful to me, which is a bit of an annoyance. Um, but honestly, if OnePlus send me it, I think I'm on their press list now. So if they send me it to do a review at some point, then yeah, sweet, happy. But right now, my OnePlus 3T is still plenty fast enough. It's still like the battery life is still plenty fine. The dash charging still works perfectly. The like I've had to replace the charging cable, but so what? I've got an iFixit kit. Who cares? Um, and if the battery life dies, then honestly, I'm probably just gonna replace the battery rather than get a new phone because I really just don't care for that. So yeah. In terms of purchasing a new phone, it's not in my horizon at the moment. Especially like a sort of £600 phone, probably not. But yeah. Um, Raul, are you planning on reviewing the new HP Omen laptop when it comes out next month? I don't speak to HP that often, so if they reach out for me to review it, then yes. If not, then no. Oh, um, I'm over phones. I have an S8 and wouldn't be adverse to getting another one when it dies. To be honest, fair play. That's the thing. You really don't need much with a new phone now over a 3-year-old phone. I know, right? Like I get that there's definitely like there are definitely improvements, but I just I don't really care. Um, Blur, what did you say? Sorry, I missed your last comment. Do you have any PC recommendations? So Riley said wait for the new Ryzen CPUs, which is certainly a good shout. Are you looking for a like full PC or are you looking for parts for it? I know you're talking about a i7 8700 not too long ago, but like earlier in the chat. But yeah, are you looking for a full PC, right? And what country are you in? I want to say USA, but I can't remember. Sorry. OnePlus sets the gears in the whole phone revolution. That's what happened. Yes, true. UK, that's the one. Right. So there are quite a lot of people. Overclockers UK are a great shout. It depends what sort of budget you have. But they're generally a pretty good middle ground between giving you good um like quality customer service, build quality, like good spec components, and also giving you good value for money, not being the kind of like main gear level. We're going to charge you over £1,000 for a 1050 Ti or something stupid. So they generally have pretty good value for money, and if you buy through my affiliate link, then I get a commission for it too. So that's always useful. Do we have a trio of friends? Where's your link? TechteamGB.co.uk/overclockers.uk or OCUK. You know what? I'll just type it. There you go. Maxi X, I like everything about the OnePlus 7 Pro besides the price. Indeed, I would agree. I mean, a point that a lot of reviewers have said and that I kind of agree with is that in a world where a lot of companies are offering like £1,000+ phones, 600 or 670 or whatever it is in the UK, does seem cheap, especially for what you get with it. So it's certainly impressive. We've got to say that. uh, it does until you realize that a lot of people do that. I mean, how much is an S8, S9, S10? Like 350 from LG G6 was enough. Yeah, I think I paid like maximum of 400 for my OnePlus 3T. And I went for the bigger storage model. 700 plus pounds for a phone is a thing. Yep. It's crazy, but it is. Do you go beyond the hardware? What do you mean? Oh, the headphone jack delete doesn't bother me too much as my gear is pretty high end and DAC on phones are usually rubbish. USB-C DACs are better. Oh, interesting. Fair play. I actually I don't know how much I would mind having a dongle, but yeah, it's still kind of annoying. But I might or might not have spent 400 on a simple small phone. How? Super user, yes, I've had every high-end phone this year. OnePlus will be my daily driver for far less than Samsung S10. Yeah, I mean that's true. £1,000 now. Ouch. Like networking and more technical stuff. I don't tend to cover networking all that often. It's not an area that I am overly knowledgeable about beyond the, I suppose, a bit beyond basics, but still. And more technical stuff, again, it really depends on what you mean by technical stuff. But I do have a series on talking about, say, how CPUs work and how GPUs work and how they're manufactured and why there's no competition between why there's no third or fourth or fifth, say, CPU company, for example, or GPU company. Yeah, feel free to check those out. Or as what it says, join the Home Lab Discord, and that will probably be a good shout for you. iPhone SE, small, not too powerful, but supported for far longer than Android phones. True, that is true. That's not something that I can deal with personally, but yeah, fair play. I understand the use case for that, so yeah. Ryzen 2700 is now £218 in overclockers and £211 on Amazon. That is incredibly impressive. That's nice. Yeah, trouble is doing cool stuff on server and networking equipment can be very expensive. That's very true unless you're Wendell and already have a company that messes about with that all day anyway. Hello, Gavin. How you doing, man? Did you say the Ryzen 2700X was good? Yes, it is. I have the 2700 non-X myself, and I've overclocked it, but the 2700 X is also a very good, very impressive chip for the money. Nice one. I like that there's a sub chat within the chat here about computing GCSE exams. No worries, Blur. No worries. Ow. I did indeed. Yeah, Box had the 2700 for 150. Wow, that's impressive. Left my first computing GCSE. When you say quotes GCSE, is that because it was a O level or whatever? Whatever they call them up. Oh, no flag. Too much Counter Strike. Nice. I love ICT, but I hate my teacher. She screamed at me because I fixed an issue with a smartboard. That sounds like a teacher. Welcome to school, where if you show that you're smarter than the teacher, they will either kiss ass you for 2 years, or they'll scream at you for everything. Oh, the calibration. Oh god, yes. Jesus. I lost a hard drive on my Synology server this week. Didn't have it set as RAID. Ah, that's not fantastic. I'm yet to actually have a drive full on die on me, but I've had a few drives kind of clunk out and I have to recover stuff from them. But I'm doing things a bit better now. I actually have raids on everything, so I have some level of backup. I might or might not have accidentally infected half the IT department uh, at school with a virus. Happy times. Nice, nice. I did a lot of stupid shit at school with computers, but I've already told those stories. Fair play. I had a hard drive die, hitting it, got it spinning again enough to recover the data. Nice. That's a very weird way to go about it, but fair. Lost everything on it, but it was only downloaded films. Ah, fair play. Fair play. Right. Well, anyone got last minute questions, or are we all good for this week? What is the answer to life, the universe, and everything? 42. Roundabout time. Yay! Hello, Milton Keynes and East Kilbride. Uh, nice one, Chris. Nice one. All right. Well, I highly recommend you check out tomorrow's video. It's the Noble Chair sponsor video, but it is fantastic. I would love to hear some comments when it gets out. So, yeah, definitely. But otherwise, oh, nice one, Gavin. That's awesome. Enjoy the retro games. Oh, emulator. Still enjoy the retro games. But yeah, I will catch you guys next week. Ciao.